The Mandalorian star Gina Carano gets fired by Disney Plus regarding controversial opinions on social media. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Gina Carano real quick. For anyone who isn't familiar with Gina Carano, she used to be a professional mixed martial arts fighter, and she transitioned into acting career. She was in Deadpool, I think one of the Deadpool movies, and just recently she stars as a character from the show The Mandalorian. It's really, really popular. She's been very opinionated regarding her, her personal beliefs. She's been in trouble before in the past regarding a couple of things she said. I know that she's criticized like the whole pronoun thing.
There's one, I believe, last year during the election. Let me see, where she was talking about she was mocking people wearing masks. Um, there's also suggested voter fraud occurring.
UTA has also dropped the actor who will no longer be part of the Star Wars galaxy. Gina Carano will not be returning to The Mandalorian or the Star Wars galaxy after sharing a post on social media implying that being a Republican today is like being Jewish during the Holocaust. So it started off with this Instagram post. So this is what she says. Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers but by their neighbors, even by their children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighborhood hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? She compared, Nazis hating on Jews to how some people hate conservatives nowadays. I think it's an absolutely terrible take, but I understand what she was trying to say. But I feel like
she could have said,
yeah, she could have used a completely different comparison instead of comparing it to Jews and Holocaust, because it's definitely not the same thing,
I don't know. It's almost like one of those things where she might have went a little bit too far, and I think Disney at that point was like, okay, this is it. Like we already finished filming Mandalorian. We got all your shots. We're just gonna write you off now. Well, obviously, there's probably much better ways to explain it. I like you were saying before. I get what she's trying to say, but using that, it's almost like taking an extreme example and trying to make it minute. Like you can't really compare, like apples and oranges. You can't compare those two. At the same time, I also think that Disney shouldn't fire her for that reason, because obviously it's like I think Disney is too focused on like keeping a certain image and just firing those that don't fit that image.
Right.
And I don't know, like I think they just took a little bit too extreme here. I don't know. That's my personal take.
They do have an image to uphold, but at the same time, someone shouldn't get fired over just because like they're expressing, a bad opinion. It's still freedom of speech. She's still allowed to say it. I mean, she isn't really hurting anyone. She didn't outwardly like insult anybody. Her entire point was just that she feels like a certain political view is getting prosecuted. But that's all she's saying.
But like at the same time, like I also feel like Disney is trying to find some kind of reason to get rid of her. Like maybe she's not a great person to work with, maybe behind the scenes that we know of, and they're just trying to find a reason to fire her, and this was that reason.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were trying to fire her from her past controversial.
But they couldn't because she was still filming, or she's in contract or something.
Yeah, they were saying how Lucasfilms was planning on unveiling her own Gina Carano's character's own Disney Plus series. But because of this, that has to be scrapped now. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so I just wanted to point out that there's sort of like a double standard going on regarding this whole situation. This is regarding Pedro Pascal, who plays the main character in The Mandalorian. All right. So he made a tweet back in 2018 It's before Mandalorian, yeah, 2018.
Okay.
So, according to this guy here, Matt Walsh, not only did Pedro Pascal, an actor on The Mandalorian, compare the United States and Nazi Germany, but he did so with a photo of America in 2018. That is not actually from 2018 and also not actually from America, yet still has his job. Meanwhile, Gina Carano makes, something, she tweets something sort of similar, but she ends up losing her job. And the picture is up here.
Well, the thing, like you said before, this is before he even got hired. So how can he get fired from a job he wasn't hired yet to do? He should be hired to begin with if he did make that tweet. In the grand scheme, that tweet that he made probably wasn't like on their radar. Like Disney, they don't do their research in terms of like, well, I'm going to look at every single tweet that this actor made before we hire an actor. So and the fact that she is already well known and to be part of the Mandalorian, and she made that tweet, and it went viral. That's a key word. It went viral also. The fact and Disney saw that in the radar. Then they have the authority to fire her. I'm just playing objectively here because the fact that Pedro made that tweet, it didn't hit Disney's radar, so they wouldn't even know he made that tweet until it went viral. However, they could also have fired him as well because of what he did back in 2018. If they really want to get uphold an image, then they should definitely do their due diligence and research every single actor before they get hired, or like in their contract say something, you can't do anything controversial or else we will fire you because of said reasons. Obviously, we don't know what her contract says. It might have that clause already that we don't know about. But if they want to uphold to an image, then they should definitely have that in their contract. I do know the Disney contracts are pretty strict for the most, from what I heard. Obviously, there's fitness requirements. There's probably a clause in there about upholding a certain image. So like maybe that's why she got fired. It did uphold that image, and the fact that Pedro is still able to maintain its image and be, I guess, quote unquote PG. That's why he wasn't fired yet, because he didn't do it during that contract while he still held that contract.
What you said there, that's like my biggest problem with Disney. Like I said, they really don't care. Like they'll select like the best actors to to go for the role, but they're only gonna cater to like whoever's like crying about like this controversy. Like I said, they're really more reactive than they are preventative. They'll react to whoever's offended by whatever this Gina Carano said, rather than just not hire her from the very beginning. So that's really the problem with Disney. They sort of pander to like just whoever's crying at the moment.
I mean, the biggest news, if you remember, like Disney firing PewDiePie for that one controversy that he did, and they canceled his sponsorship and promotion, stuff like that. So like, if there's anything that they just don't want to deal with legally, and they're not willing to fight for it, they'll just go ahead and like X that person out. And that to me, that's like, like you said before, is way too reactive.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed our content, you can support us by liking and subscribing. And feel free to leave a comment down below. See you guys in the next video.